Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Filmy Recap. Today, I'm recapped American Beauty movie. Lester Burnham, Kevin Spacey, is a 42-year-old father, husband and advertising and marketing government who serves as the film's narrator. Lester's relationship with his spouse Carolyn, Annette Bening, a materialistic and bold realtor who feels that she is unsuccessful at pleasurable her potential, is strained. His 16-year-old daughter Jane, Thora Birch, is sad and struggling with vanity issues. Lester himself is a self-described loser, boring, faceless and convenient to forget. Lester is reinvigorated, however, when he meets Jane's buddy and classmate, the egotistical Angela Hayes, Mina Suvari, at an excessive faculty basketball game. Lester straight away develops an apparent infatuation with Angela, a great deal to his daughter's embarrassment. Throughout the film, Lester has fantasies involving a sexually aggressive Angela and purple rose petals. The Burnhams' new neighbors are Colonel Frank Fitz, USMC, Chris Cooper, his distracted spouse Barbara, Allison Janney, and his camcorder-obsessed and marijuana-selling son Ricky, Wes Bentley. When confronted with the homosexual couple dwelling 2 doorways down, Colonel Fitz shows a fantastically bigoted attitude. Over the route of a few days, every of the Burnhams in my view makes a life-changing choice. Carolyn meets actual property rival buddy Kane, Peter Gallagher, for a commercial enterprise lunch and ends up starting an affair with him. And later takes up taking pictures classes, advice of Kane's. Lester blackmails his boss Brad Dupree, Barry Del Sherman, for $60,000, quits his job, and takes up low-pressure employment as a burger flipper at a quick meals chain. He continues to liberate himself by means of buying and selling in his Toyota Camry for his dream car, a 1970 Pontiac Firebird, begins working out to provoke Angela, and begins smoking a genetically enhanced shape of marijuana furnished to him via Ricky. Jane, whilst developing far off from Angela, develops a romantic relationship with Ricky, having bonded over what he considers to be his most stunning camcorder photos he has ever filmed, that of a plastic grocery bag dancing in the wind. The two start a sexual relationship. One night time after sex, whilst Ricky documents her, Jane talks to Ricky about how unsatisfying her lifestyles is and how detached her dad and mom appear towards her and every other. Jane appears to have greater complaints about her father, particularly his enchantment to Angela, and that any person have to kill him to put him out of his misery. Ricky asks her if she'd like him to kill Lester for her. She coldly replies that she would. Colonel Fitz, worried over the developing relationship between Lester and Ricky, roots through his son's possessions. Discovering pictures of Lester working out in the nude, captured by using Risk, whilst Ricky was once filming Jane through her bedroom window, slowly bringing him to the improper conclusion that his son is gay. Buddy and Carolyn are determined out by means of Lester, who appears to be in the main unfazed by means of his wife's infidelity. Carolyn, who is nearly greater devastated via Lester's indifference than via her being uncovered as an adulteress, is similarly dismayed when Buddy reacts via breaking off the affair. As nighttime falls, Ricky returns domestic to locate his father ready for him with fists and vitriol, having improper his drug rendezvous with Lester for a sexual affair. Realizing this as an probability for freedom, Ricky falsely has the same opinion that he is homosexual and goads his violent father till he is thrown out. Ricky rushes to Jane's residence and asks her to flee with him to New York City, something she consents to, a great deal to the dismay of Angela, who rapidly protests. Ricky shoots her down with her deepest fear, that she is boring and absolutely normal, and makes use of her friends, like Jane, to raise her public image. Broken and dismayed, Angela storms out of the room, leaving Jane and Ricky to reconcile. Lester finds an emotionally fragile Colonel Fitz standing backyard in the pouring rain and tries to relieve him, however is taken through shock when Fitz kisses him. Lester gently rebuffs him, telling him he has the incorrect idea. Fitz, shamed and broken, wanders again into the rain. Meanwhile, Carolyn sits on my own in her automobile on the facet of the road, maintaining her gun and turning into greater and greater infuriated at the day's flip of events. Moments later, Lester finds a distraught Angela and is on the part of consummating their relationship sexually. However, the seduction is derailed when she confesses that she is a virgin. Now viewing her solely as an harmless child, Lester right away withdraws, his affections moving to that of a father figure, and they bond over their shared frustrations with and subject for Jane, Lester seeming to be thrilled when Angela confesses that Jane's in love. Angela asks how he is feeling and he realizes, to his very own surprise, that he feels great. After Angela excuses herself to the bathroom, a joyful Lester sits at the desk searching at a graphic of his household in happier times. Unaware of the gun being held to the again of his head. A gunshot rings out, Angela hears it in the bathroom. Lester is determined by means of Jane and Ricky. Ricky stares without delay into Lester's eyes, apparently interested with his corpse. Earlier than he and the crying Jane leave, Carol finds Lester useless and goes right now to his closet, wailing over his things. In his closing narration, Lester appears returned on the activities of his life, intertwined with pictures of everyone's reactions to the sound of the subsequent gunshot, along with one of a bloody and shaken Colonel. In his closing narration, Lester appears returned on the activities of his life, intertwined with pictures of everyone's reactions to the sound of the subsequent gunshot, along with one of a bloody and shaken Colonel. Fits with a gun lacking from his collection. Despite his death, Lester, from his vantage factor as narrator, is content. I bet I ought to be in reality pissed off about what came about to me, however it's challenging to remain mad, when there is so a good deal splendor in the world. Sometimes I sense like I'm seeing it all at once. And it is too much, my coronary heart fills up like a balloon it's about to burst, and then I take into account to relax, and cease making an attempt to maintain onto it, and then it flows through me like rain. And I cannot experience whatever however gratitude for each single second of my dull little life. You have no concept what I'm speaking about, I'm sure. But do not worry, you will someday.